Good morning, everybody. This is 3333 Lightworker coming to you this week for the tarot reading from the 7th through the 13th of 2025. And let me tell you, I am not a cold weather person. I've got, if you can tell, I've got, a thick, warm shirt from Eddie Bauer and a sweatshirt on, and I'm still freezing. Plus, I have leg warmings and pants on, so it's like still cold. But anyway, let me just, before I start the reading, let me suggest to you to be careful what you say to your friends, because they're not really your friends, they're your frenemies, because the info that you relay to them or whatever or share, they just can't keep it to themselves. They're going to be going back to other people and telling them what they've heard. They're gossipers. So just be careful of what you say, and hopefully you'll catch yourself and turn the situation around to where they go, oh, okay, well, that sounds, reasonable. When in fact you are planning to, say you're planning to move, or you're planning for a career change, or something like that. Your business is your business. You don't need to be telling other people what you're doing right now until it's after the whole thing is said and done. Okay, so just be careful about that this week. Or anywhere from the full moon, which is the 4th, all the way to the end of the 13th would, I'll advise you of that, so you just prepare yourself. Our first card for this coming week is regeneration. Now, regeneration, look at that. That tree is bare, and he's like on a pile of dirt or a rock all by himself. And this is because after the full moon that we had on the 4th through the 5th, we experienced such energy to get things done, and we did too. Some of you may have bought a lot of things on Black Friday. I bought one or two things myself. It was such a good deal. And so, be proud of yourself that you got deals instead of spending, hopefully you didn't spend thousands of dollars or anything like that, but you bought yourself a couple of things or Christmas presents for your family, your kids, or whatever. But anyway, we experienced such an energy to get things done that, maybe too much of that spirit is going to hover or kind of cross over to this coming week. But you need to taper off, spending your money, especially with the world events, and you just don't know what's going to happen and this, that. And it is basically, kind of spend it, December is a month of spending because of the holidays. I totally get that myself. But just kind of make sure that you taper it. You bought some stuff on Black Friday. Now wait a week before you decide to buy something else, or wait towards almost Christmas to buy the rest. Therefore you have enough money for bills and food and all of the standard stuff that we need to make or have for each month. Okay, so just the rest of the month, just take a moment to meditate, be grateful what you did accomplish and what you do have in your life. There's many people that go without, and we all know that. So just be grateful for what you do have. And, maybe it's not the biggest, process of the, what you have, but just make sure that you just take a moment and be grateful. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the second card we have here is by the book. Now, see, you're following the track, doing the do, just, doing what you can. Just follow the rules, even though people may think they're more better than you, say. Which to me means envious, and we all been through that, So if you're, like I said, if you're getting a glow up, or maybe you're moving, or maybe you've got a job that is going to take you across all the states or something, keep it to yourself, because if you start bragging about all of this kind of stuff, those envious people are going to, tell you it's not worth it. What are you doing? You're screwing up your life. Those things, because why? They're not happy for you. They're envious. They're envious of the opportunities that you're going to be getting this month and the next 2 months, beginning of next year. So I would keep it to yourself and only share those things with people you can trust, okay? So try as they might to run shotgun over your life, they won't succeed because I'm giving you warning, and you can you can just, uh, what is it? Curtail your excitement. And I know you have to, you might, enjoy your success by yourself, but right at this time with everything going on in the world, it's just easier not to get too many people involved in your business, okay? And I know you're going to succeed because you're a spirit warrior, and you just need to keep your plans to yourself right now. Or you can share them with me. I'm not going to tell anybody. Okay. The next card is chop wood. Yeah. I like this card, actually. It's really cute. The illustrations on these cards are fantastic. But, chop wood is do for right now. Like I said before in the previous cards, remain stoic. Everybody is wondering what's going to happen in the world, in the U.S., because certain people are just threatening other people and doing things, because they think they can. And but you just have to try to remain calm. And, do what I do. I watch a comedy to get out of this, negative mindset. I just watch a comedy or a holiday movie. Yes, they're silly and yes, whatever. But you know what? You watch like 2 of those movies, and all of a sudden your mind and your heart and your soul is happier because you just left that. You can't control certain things in the world, and you just have to be able to control yourself and your mind and your body and your soul right now, and be grateful for that, because you're going to be successful. Like I said, by February of next year, it's the reset, of 2026, and things should, and I mean should, be much better, at least 50% better for most of us, okay? And just remain calm, like I said, okay? It's going to happen for us all, and that job that you've been wishing for is going to pop up. Maybe a member in your family doesn't have a job, and maybe you've been trying to help them. This is called the Fates, which is the next card I wanted to talk about. But the Fates is, watch what you say, watch what you do, try to apply for those jobs. But fate is happening right now, and it's accept things that you cannot change. This is really the theme for this whole week right now. Accept the things that you cannot change at this time. And this is probably brought on by last Friday, which is the, Black Friday thing. And, and if one of say you placed an order on Friday and it still hasn't come, don't worry, this is a season where, they're overloaded with delivering and trying to get the products together so they can box it up and deliver it to you. But it will come, okay? So just be patient, or if one of your frenemies, like I said before, if they're acting strange, just take note of it and try not to think of it too much. But I'm here to tell you that things are going to improve. They will improve early next week. But like I said, always remain stoic and don't share too much of what's happening in your life at this time with others. Like, you can share them with me. I'm honest. I'm ethical, honest, and people have confided in me throughout my years, and I have never told a soul. People know that they can trust me. So find one of those people, and if you can't, just email me. My email's on the description box in there, and just tell me what you're going through, and it won't go any further, okay? Because sometimes all we need is somebody to listen to us and offer us, something that we can do in the meantime to make our lives a little bit better. Now, our next card here, okay, is clean it up. Now, this is something that I did just yesterday. I cleaned the house. I, dust, vacuumed, did all of those things, and my place is looking shinier than a dime, So sometimes, like all those things that you've been storing up and that you've never used for the last 3 years, if you don't use it, get rid of it. But somebody else can use it. Donate it, or donate or sell it to a store that lists it on their site, and they'll give you whatever you make. At minus their shipping cost, of course. But and you know which companies I'm talking about. I'm not gonna share that with you, but you know what to do in order to list your things on a site until they sell. So just get rid of those things, lighten your load, because less clutter is peace of mind, don't you think? And by the end of the year, you'll be so glad that you did, so you don't, like I said, if you get a job, you have to move or whatever, you'll be glad that you don't have all of that stuff you're going to carry with you to the next place, that you've gotten rid of it, okay? So our next card, and here's a great card for you. It's called Blessed. Look at that, the little angel in the sky. I love the cards around her, and that means that something good is here. Something blessed, it's unexpected gift maybe shows up. Maybe somebody sends you some money for the holidays. Maybe you get that job and they want you to show up, like I said, at the beginning of the year to start. It's those kind of things. The divine sees everything and hears all things. And if you say a prayer and you haven't gotten any kind of response back, know that they're busy as everybody is during this time of year, and they'll get to you, and your response will always be positive. So if you say your prayers like I do practically every day, they hear you, okay? Now, in the back time, if they don't respond or answer your prayers right away, that just means they're working on it, and they're gonna, when you least expect it, that's when things happen for you. They like to surprise us, I love the angels. I love my guardian angels. They've done me no wrong. I mean, every time I get so frustrated, they keep on reminding me, it's just the energies in the world, it's the full moon, or it's just other people. They're not my energy, relax. And when I do, and I just let everything go, all of a sudden I get an email or something, that is positive for myself. So I just learned to just relax, chill, and go with the flow, okay? So, and also, when you see the blessed card, okay, your life is going to transform in some way. Just be grateful, and it could be a ton of money, and I'm not kidding about a ton of money, or a large amount that you were unexpected. You may receive in the mail, or you may get a refund on something that you forgot about that was earlier this year, and it could have been a lawsuit, and you were part of some kind of I don't know, what are those things when you a group collective thing, when some company is sued by somebody else, but you were a participant, or you bought their product, and all of a sudden they're being sued, but all of a sudden now towards the end of the year you might get a refund. So little things like that, or big things, but just know that during the this week, sometimes you're going to be getting something really fantastic that will transform your life, okay? So just just be grateful, and give thanks when those things happen, because your angels are always waiting for, and they do for you, so acknowledge them, okay? Okay. This is the Observer card. Now, the Observer is somebody who is just observing life as it is. They're observing how other people act around them. They're observing how things may or may not go if they take a certain action. They like to think things through before making major decisions. And like I said, if you get a job that requires you to relocate, and the pay is okay, or it is, or it maybe it'll be so physical, the job, that it might wear you down. You have to really think about what's in your best interest. So really think things over when you get an opportunity before you take it, and make sure that the company is solid, and what the information they are giving you is correct. And if you haven't gotten your questions answered, Ask a ton of questions. Companies love it when they like to see, people that they're looking to hire ask questions that you're so interested in the company, okay? So just know that, okay? And this one is deep knowing. Look at that. I just love that. The illustrator on this card that worked on this is so fantastic. And she's always done, what is it? The wisdom of the oracle. The person who does the tarot or did the tarot cards, her illustrator has been working with her for years. But just know that deep knowing, you're don't let yourself become overloaded with information, or I have to buy this, I have to buy this, it's Christmas season. No, you don't. And if you're on a budget, tell your friends and your nieces and nephews and your parents that you're on a budget, and everybody will get something small, budget-minded sort of things. But don't tell them not to expect great things from, say, if you're an aunt or an uncle. You only have so much money, and don't forget to buy yourself something special for Christmas also. And this is also, this card here, and this card here is, you're sensing something that you don't have the answer for, okay? Your empathy is going overboard. People are having a tough time in the world and all that, but you can donate some money to their charities or whatever. But when this happens, just if you sense one of your friends not being truthful to you, or maybe it could be a parent or a sibling, or somebody you work with, it could be anybody by that. But if you sense that they're not being honest with you, just know that just try to read between the lines. If they're trying to sell you a story, say your uncle that you don't really get along with, and they're trying to borrow money from you at this time of year, just politely say, well, I'll think about it, but I really don't have any money. And then just change the subject, or in the call, or whatever, and then don't get back to them. Or you can help them if you have that kind of money. So just let you know that, okay? So just trust yourself. No, just act accordingly. That's what I'm trying to say. But trust yourself and trust your own intuition before you start dishing out money to people who are just borrowing it. Like I say, uncle or family or brother, sister, and then they never repay it. They never repay it. So that's a warning when they keep on asking for money. Just say, nope, I don't have any money this year. You're going to have to find another way. Okay, guys. So if you'd like a reading from me, all the information in the description box below. And just to remind you again, I'm still giving for the rest of the month, which is December, 20% off on all my readings except the 3 questions. That one remains the same, but this whole extended 12-month year reading, which would be from 26 all the way down to the end of that year. And then if you have a 6 months reading, that will probably be from January to the end of June for the 6 months. So that's just to give you an example. That's 20% off this month only. In January 1st, everything goes back to the old or the same price it was before. So I'd be happy to help you out. They make great stocking stuffers. But just bear in mind that I want you to be, most of all, I want you to be grateful for Spirit being in your life and that you're healthy and happy. Okay? So until next time, just keep the faith. I just want you to all be positive minded, okay? So until next time, this is 3333 Lightworker.